Have you ever found yourself facing a sea of words, not knowing which direction to take, what meaning to find? Perhaps, like many of us, you seek answers in ancient texts, in ancestral traditions, in narratives that promise to illuminate the way. Such is the case of the prayer of Pope Leo XIV. But what makes it different? How can it help us amid the complexity of the modern world? Imagine yourself before an old book, filled with yellowed scrolls and intricate lettering that seems to whisper secrets from the past. Each line, each word, carries the history of generations, the search for answers in a different time, a time when faith was the compass and hope, the guiding light. The prayer of Pope Leo XIV, though ancient, is not merely a historical record. It is an echo of the past, a reflection of a time when spirituality and reason were intertwined in an endless search for meaning. But how can we understand this prayer today, in a society so diverse and complex? How can we unravel the mysteries it may hold? Today's reality overwhelms us with information, with choices, with possibilities. Often, we lose our connection with our inner self, with our essence. We become trapped in a relentless search for external answers instead of delving into our own interiority, our own quest for meaning. In this context, the prayer of Pope Leo XIV emerges as an invitation to deeper reflection, a call to introspection, to seeking our place in the universe, and to discovering a greater purpose. Can it offer clues, revelations about our own journey? Can it help us build a more meaningful path? That is the journey we will undertake. Throughout this study, we do not aim to simply describe the text. We will go further. We will dive into the history, the culture, the mindset of the time in which the prayer was written. We will uncover the influences, the contexts, the motivations behind each word. We will, essentially, understand the meaning not only of the words but also of the context in which they were spoken. We will explore, step by step, what Pope Leo XIV's prayer can reveal to us about ourselves and about the world around us. And along this investigation, we will have the opportunity to discover how this ancient prayer can be reinterpreted for the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. The journey of discovery begins now. Beyond its historical dimension, Pope Leo XIV's prayer reveals a deep understanding of human nature. It invites us to contemplate our vulnerability, our search for meaning, and the nuances of our spiritual journey. Notice how the prayer frequently turns to supplication, to invoking a higher power. This yearning, this appeal, is a constant in human history, a testament to our intrinsic need to connect with something beyond ourselves. Think, for example, of the songs and poems of various cultures that express the same longing in their own words. From this perspective, we see prayer not as a mere ritual, but as a reflection of our existential condition. It invites us to contemplate the complexity of being human, our capacity to love and to hate, to create and to destroy, to seek truth and forgiveness. Prayer, in this context, becomes a mirror reflecting our contradictions and aspirations. Amid this intricate web of emotions and desires, prayer can help us find a point of balance, a compass to navigate the turbulent waters of life. Now consider how this applies to our everyday lives. The search for meaning, for purpose, is a constant challenge. How can we find this balance, this compass, when we feel lost, overwhelmed, or even aimless? Prayer, at its core, invites us to find that balance through introspection, contemplation, and connection with something greater than ourselves. Imagine prayer as an exercise in self-awareness, a process of inner listening, where each word, each phrase, leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Also, imagine prayer as a dialogue, not just with a divine entity, but with our own soul. In this inner dialogue, we can express our joys, our sorrows, our anguish, and our dreams. Prayer then becomes a sacred space, a personal refuge, a place where we can connect with our deepest essence. It is an invitation to self-knowledge, an invitation to inner growth, an invitation to seek a deeper understanding of our motivations. This search, this personal journey, leads us along a path of introspection, a path of self-discovery. It is a process of exploring our soul, of discovering our life's purpose, of understanding our role in the universe. Prayer, in its essence, invites us into this deep dive, this encounter with our inner self, this unending quest for a higher, deeper meaning. And as we undertake this introspection, we can connect not only with something greater than ourselves but also with our own humanity. As we trace the layers of Pope Leo XIV's prayer, the thread that ties the various aspects together becomes clearer. It is not just about deciphering an old text, but about unveiling a form of dialogue with the self, a dialogue that transcends the boundaries of language and connects with the depths of human experience. The search for meaning, inherent to the human being, finds resonance in the words of Pope Leo XIV, as if a distant echo reminds us of our own inner journey. Prayer, therefore, is not merely an act of worship, but an exercise in self-awareness, a constant quest for understanding our place in the universe. It is like an ancient map, with its symbols and enigmatic paths, which, when carefully studied, reveals the roads that lead to our inner compass. And the key to understanding lies in the ability to connect with the deeper layers of our existence, to transcend the surface of our everyday concerns and reach a higher plane of meaning. Imagine prayer as a mighty river, whose waters, initially clear, grow deeper and more complex along their journey. Each bend, each waterfall, represents a phase of our existence, with its joys, sorrows, challenges, and triumphs. And prayer, like the river's course, guides us through this inner flow, leading us to a meeting with ourselves and a deeper understanding of our journey. Reflecting on the path we've taken, we can see that the prayer of Pope Leo XIV is not a dogma to be followed, but an invitation to introspection, to the search for our own truth, our own inner harmony. It is like a lighthouse in the sea of uncertainty, a light that guides our steps toward our own understanding, our own serenity. And thus, as we dive into the analysis of this ancient text, we come closer to a deeper understanding of ourselves and what moves us from within. Notice how the implications of these reflections, tied to our search for meaning, are intertwined. The history, culture, and mindset of the time of the prayer become pieces of a puzzle, whose images, once assembled, reveal a clearer picture of our own journey. And as we uncover the complexity of this mosaic, we come closer to a more complete understanding of our own path. And as we draw closer, the journey calls us, like a soft whisper, to take the next step. As we contemplate Pope Leo XIV's prayer, we do not merely unravel a historical text, but more profoundly, we stand before a mirror reflecting our own inner search. The journey of exploration we've traveled reveals that the quest for meaning transcends the boundaries of time and culture. It is an innate longing, a drive that compels us to rise above the surface of our daily concerns and dive into a deeper dimension of ourselves. Prayer, in this context, manifests as an invitation to introspection, a call to connect with the deepest layers of our soul. It is not a mechanical act, but a plunge into our very essence, our very history. It is a silent dialogue with our own consciousness, a space where we can confront our weaknesses, celebrate our achievements, and, above all, understand the intricate web of emotions and experiences that shape us. As we delve into the analysis of this prayer, we realize that the search for meaning is not about ready-made answers or magical formulas. It resides in the journey itself, in the continuous process of self-discovery, in accepting our contradictions, and in celebrating our complexity. It is in understanding that we are beings in constant transformation, in perpetual search, that we find the true essence of our existence. Prayer, in its essence, invites us to cultivate patience, perseverance, and compassion. Patience to contemplate the journey, perseverance to face the challenges, and compassion to embrace our humanity in its entirety. It is in accepting this personal journey, in understanding that we are part of something greater, that we will find our place in the universe, our singular purpose. True meaning, therefore, does not lie in a definitive answer but in constant questioning, in the relentless pursuit of understanding our own story, our own soul. And like a lighthouse in the dark, Pope Leo XIV's prayer guides us on this inner journey, inspiring us to keep searching, to keep questioning, to keep finding ourselves. The true practice begins now, in the stillness of our own being, in the tireless search for deeper, more authentic meaning.